Today's guest speaker is well known to all of us. He's presented several times before on 3D printing, another one on voice assistants, another one on virtual reality that were very popular classes. He's the coordinator of creative initiatives for the Creation Station in Fort Lauderdale. And he's here today to do an update on his very popular voice assistance presentation. So let's give a warm welcome to Bob Anstead.
Thank you, guys. So, thank you all very much. We're doing this class today there's always new stuff happening, and in case you get one or you're giving these out, you need to go teach the kids how to use this. And make sure that you're ready for the holiday season here for what happens. Stop me and ask questions, raise your hand, we'll get you a microphone out there to ask all the questions that you want. So I am Bob from the future, here from the library system to help answer all your technology questions and stuff like that. We are running some different things with these Echo Dots. We've got it out at the Collier City Library on a test program right now. We're looking at adding voice assistant speakers to all of the Broward County libraries, so that you can walk up and ask the basic questions to get things done. And if you already have one of these at home, I'm going to show you at the end of class how to set up your own special customized questions to get your own individual answers back for questions that you want to have. Working on some various different things with that. I do need to stress, this is not a commercial for Amazon. We're going to talk a lot about Amazon, and everything that I talk about today is applicable to all the major platforms, and if it's not, I'll point it out. We're using Amazon here today because they've got such a huge head start on everybody else. They've been doing this for longer. They've got a lot of stuff out there, and we'll talk about some of those contrasts in just a minute here also. So getting started, we're going to talk about the 5 voice assistants that are out there that you can use. And I know you're probably not aware that there's 5 of them out there. So who's number 1? Who do you think is number 1 out there?
Echo. Yeah, Amazon.
Okay, right. So this is actually Amazon Voice Services is what it's called. And we're going to talk about what these are wake words. This is what the word that you say to wake up the device. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So who do you think is number 2 now that you know that part of it?
Cortana.
No. There we go. Thank you very much. So Cortana is number 2 on the list of voice assistants. Amazon's got this huge lead in all these devices and all these possibility things that are out there. If you've used the help function in Windows, you've used Cortana. You just didn't know you were. If you type to it, you can type to it. But if you've got a webcam, if you've got a microphone or other microphones connected to your computer, you can activate that to just speak out and say, hey Cortana, do this, and it'll go back and forth. Or if you've got an Echo speaker, you can say the name and say, hey, ask Cortana this, or you can ask Cortana to, hey, ask Alexa that, and it will go back and forth for you. So they are paired up nowadays. That's one of the developments that happened over the last 6 months, where they've now fully built in that interoperability, so you can have both of them running at the same time and use them. So now who do you think's number 3 then? No. They're trying. We're going to get there in a minute. Who's number 3?
Siri.
There we go. So, Apple's version of Siri is number 3, and that's because it's been installed on all those iPhones, iPads, etc., and stuff like that. They are a distant 3rd right now, probably going to drop to 4th by the end of the year. The stats are looking pretty grim for them right now. Siri is a decent assistant, does decent work and stuff, but it's not very popular. Even though you hear a lot about it, they're really good at advertising. People using it is a different issue. So, who wants to guess number 4?
Google.
There we go. Thank you very much. So, Google, which is OK Google or the Google Home or Google Assistant, whichever flavor that you're currently using at the moment. They're right now at the beginning, earlier this year when we did these rankings, they were number 4. They're expected to be number 2 by the end of the year because they're pushing really close to Microsoft right now, and they might be able to get past them by the end of the year. Based on number of devices that it's available in, spread out over a lot of things, and Google Home is now activated automatically on your Android devices. So every single Android device out there has this built in too. So Windows phones never took off, so that's why Windows is probably going to slip behind Google at this point. Who's got to guess at number 5? Somebody's taken this class before, come on.
Bixby.
Thank you. So, Bixby.
We cannot hear, we cannot
This-
see.
Bixby.
Thank you.
So, Bixby is number 5, and the reason they're number 5 is because they're just not very good in the North American market. If I were to put this list in worldwide usage, Bixby would be number 1, because they have all of South Korea, because it's put out by Samsung, and they have about 25 to 33% of the Chinese market. And if you can get 25% of the Chinese market, you own the world. So, they're very big there. They just haven't been able to translate that into English-speaking stuff. They've got new Bixby 2.0, as they've called it, that they announced in September. The devices were supposed to come out in November and have not yet. So we're going to see just how that progresses for them, if they make any better market penetration in the United States and Europe. But for this group here, that's the ones you're going to mostly encounter. We're going to talk about a couple more in a few minutes. There are some other ones out there doing things. We all know that, back in Star Trek when we all just said computer, do this, computer, do that. That's how we all got hooked on this idea, right? Of wanting to just be able to talk to your computer, make it do things in that. Anybody notice something about that list, though? All these wake words that we're using? No?
They're all female.
There we go, thank you very much. They're all female. It's that implicit bias built into all of us. We're just used to ordering women around and telling them what to do, right? Hey, this is the problem with Silicon Valley.
But they're the ones.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who get things done.
Yes, oh, there we go. Yes,
Yeah, the military found that out in the cockpit when they were issuing commands.
yes, and all of the danger warnings are in a female voice because you immediately jump to one. We did, remember, have one male voice assistant out there. He didn't work out so well, so that's a different thing there. Now, one of the tricks with this is
Yeah, who was it?
HAL.
2001.
2001, the computer on HAL. The computer there in 2001, HAL, that ran the ship.
Right.
Open the pod bay doors, HAL. All of these, you'll notice, are not only female names, but are female voices by default. Now, you can change them, and that's one of the good things going on now. So Bixby's always going to be a female voice, that's just the way they are. Google Home is a female voice, and you can use different voices to invoke it, but you can't change the name. It's always going to be OK Google, but you can change off of the female voice to a male voice if you want. Siri has various male voices out there that you can use and various voice types. Cortana, no, it's going to be a female voice. It's going to be that way. They're supposed to come out with a male voice soon. And Amazon is keeping the female voice right now, but they've done some celebrity voice things for certain things. We'll talk about that in a second. But they've actually the ones who have expanded the most ways of being able to invoke and get things started. So you can use the word Alexa, you can use the word Echo, you can use the word computer to activate, or you can actually use the word Amazon if you really want to, and have your devices activated that way. So you've got a variety of things. If you've got a kid, name that. Two things about that. I know the first thing everybody's like, well, I want a different name. The problem is getting your voice recognition system to know that name that you're going to use and differentiate it in the conversations that are all going around, so that whatever's happening around you, that it picks up just that individual wake word, because that's how they start. You say that wake word, and that's when they wake up to do something and start listening to you. In the meantime, they don't do anything. We're going to talk about privacy too, don't worry guys. So you have to have that specialty thing there of learning that particular word to wake up to. The other thing that Amazon uses that none of the other people have used yet is they customize the voice template, which means when you're talking to the device, if you hear her voice, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:18 a.m.
So when you hear her voice, you know it's something that's a certified Alexa type thing coming out. If you hear it in some other voice, some other type of app, and you have a different celebrity voice or different thing, you know that that's not necessarily an Amazon product. That's something that somebody made that you can use on there, which is how they're differentiating.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you get these various things where you can know what to trust and what not to trust as we get back into privacy and stuff like that in there. So, we're going to talk about whether this is artificial intelligence. And no, it's not artificial intelligence. This is something that is a very simple. It is not artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence would... Alexa, are you artificial intelligence?
I like to imagine myself a bit like an aurora borealis, a surge of charged multicolored photons dancing through the atmosphere. Mostly, though, I am just Alexa.
Alexa, tell me about deep learning.
Deep learning is part of a broader family of machine learning methods based on learning data representations, as opposed to task-specific algorithms.
So, the idea here being, deep learning is what learns to recognize your voice. Deep learning understands all the different nuances of what you're trying to say, and to be able to continue a conversation, and be able to continue to talk and go back and forth in something like that. And they're getting better. They're not perfect yet. They're getting better. They understand most things. They do really good on accents now, except for onions. My wife cannot get the word onions out and get her to understand it. I just get these weird things. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, she wants me to write onions. However, it's going back out to the cloud. And you guys all remember what the cloud is, right? Somebody else's computer. That's all it is. And you just hope they're backing up their computer too. Some other cloud. Somebody else's computer. It's just a big chain of computers going around. And what's happening here is you give that wait word and it sends it out to those Amazon servers out there in the cloud, and it gets that information and it brings it back to you. So it's not artificial intelligence, because if it was, it would be able to pull it all together into one thing and keep on going without anybody else, without any need for anything. So we're not there to artificial intelligence yet. If somebody tries to tell you, oh, I got this AI device. No. They're AI-like, they're close, they can imitate some stuff, but really it's a bunch of algorithms running in the background linking you up to various things. She doesn't know, Alexa, where's the Amazon?
The Amazon River is a river in Peru.
Anybody here think of Peru when you think of the Amazon River?
Brazil.
Yeah, because the headwaters are in Peru, so technically it's a river in Peru. But she doesn't understand that, hey, you probably want to know what countries it runs through. Alexa, where is Amazon?
Amazon.com is an online retailer in Seattle, Washington State. The address is 410 Terry Avenue North, Seattle, Washington 981095210, USA.
So there we go. Now we can go show up and ask Jeff for some. Now, the idea here is all these devices do the same thing. You have to wake them up somehow. You have to talk to them, give them an answer. They have to use their connection to the internet to go out, get that information, and bring it back to you. So she's basically going out and getting Wikipedia articles and examining various things and bringing it into you that way. So you can do this on all sorts of devices, all sorts of things. Where they all live is actually on your phone. So, first step here, if you were like freaked out because there's a microphone in this room right now listening to us, yes, there is. It's in your pocket all day long. And you've got a microphone listening to you all day long, so don't worry about it. At least we can rest assured. We'll talk about it again at security and privacy. Amazon's doing a decent job of keeping track of this stuff. But all of them basically are apps on your phone. So you need a smartphone that can run an app to be able to start up your Echo and get it running. And then once you're done, you're never going to use your phone again for that. And we're going to show some of the reasons why really quickly. So all of those five, the big five, all run on your phone, And they all run on other devices like this here. So let's talk about what that Echo line looks like. Alexa, set a done timer for 10 minutes.
Done timer, 10 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, set a turn timer for 5 minutes.
Turn timer, 5 minutes, starting now.
So we'll see how well I do. So up here on the screen, you can see a wide variety of various different types of devices that are out there that you can have, that Amazon sells as an Echo for the Echo. There is the shorter version. The new Echoes are much shorter. The older one was a tall Pringles can one, if you've seen those before. The engineers all hate me calling it that. And you have the opportunity to go in and put this kind of thing on just about any, I got it right here. So right here for these various types. They now have also some newer types of things. So we've got the Echo, they do not show the tap on here. They still do make the tap. The tap is basically one of these speakers that is battery powered, so you have to tap it to wake it up, so it's not listening to you all the time, and then you can use it. It's like for streaming music out at the pool or doing anything like that. And then they've started adding their video ones. The one that we've got, the small hockey puck right here, is the Dot. That's what we have up here. I've got an early generation one. The one in the picture is a third generation one. Those are the entry level ones. Entry level is about list price of $50 on Amazon, which nobody ever pays, and you're probably talking $35 to $25 here for the holiday season. Sometimes even cheaper than that. I've seen them on sale, buy 5, get 1 free, get a 6-pack for the house. I know you're wondering why the heck do you need one in every room, and we'll talk about that. And then, so you've got these things all around you. You can walk out and you can do these various things. Alexa, call Mom.
Calling Mom mobile.
So I can have access to any of these things, and I can talk back and forth between various Echoes, and I can do these sorts of things. The idea here is you've got a variety of them out there, from anywhere from a really cheap basic speaker like this, all the way up to nice high-end fancy speakers.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm just fine, how are you?
Life is great. We're in the middle of class. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Did you hear that? There we go. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll let you go back to your whatever you're doing. I just want to interrupt real quick to show off.
I'm listening to Christmas music on Alexa.
Yep. Who?
Alexa,
Yeah.
stop.
Okay, Alexa, hang up. There we go, thank you. Yeah, she just gets used to this. I do this class so many times, and I just interrupt her day and things. You can get really high-end speaker. There's actually a basic speaker in the back that you can use if you need really good high-quality music in your house running off of these. But we're going to also talk about some of the other speakers that are out there and available that don't have direct from Amazon. So that's enough right there for most people. But why my mother has one at her house is because I bought her the original Echo Show. The Show, just in case you weren't creeped out enough about having microphones all over your house, now you can have a video screen, and it's great because just like that you can make phone calls back and forth. And if I had a video screen here, we could talk back and forth with it and go. I've got her the Show, so she can sit there on the couch, do her crocheting, watch TV, listen to her music, do whatever she wants to do, and have her video calls with any of the kids. So it works really well that way for her. And that's a great little thing. And they also have now the Echo Spot, which is about a grapefruit-sized one with a little video screen on it. And it's got the video on it, and it's got the video screen and the camera and the microphone. And they want it to be your alarm clock sitting next to your bed so that you can have a video screen and your mom can call you in your bedroom. And I'm not so certain I like this idea anymore. So those sorts of things. Then there's some new devices that have just come out that were just announced for this holiday season, and they're out there, you can buy them. The Fire TV, you probably had that stick from either Chromecast or the Fire Stick or things like that. They've now got a box, Fire Cube is what they call it, that has the voice assistant built in, so you can now just say, change this channel, do that, do these sorts of things, and not have to worry about any of those. The two newest things that are, one of them's on the screen here and one's not. The Echo Look, it's about the size of a water bottle. And if you were creeped out a little bit about having a video camera in your bedroom, this is designed to go to your bathroom or in your closet. And it's got a camera and a microphone and LED lighting, and you tell it, take a picture, and you can do a picture of what you're wearing for the day, and you can have video and do a little twirl and show it off. And the idea here is twofold. Alexa, stop. Didn't make it. Shouldn't have called Mom. The idea with the Look is that you take this picture of it, and it can tell you, yeah, you wore that same shirt 2 days ago, or those two colors don't go well together, or this it knows what you've been wearing, so you can ask it for advice. Does this look better? Which one of these two outfits looks better, etc., and stuff like that. So it's a really nice thing that way. People can post their photos and track their things. It was designed originally, they thought, just as a specialty thing that certain people would want, and it turned out to be so popular that they had to just make it for sale for everybody. And this being Amazon, it also knows, hey, you've got the blue shirt, the red shirt, and the green shirt. The yellow one's on sale today. At least Amazon is honest. Their goal is to get you to buy stuff. And speaking of, they got my mom to buy the Cube, the Fire Cube. She only has one TV in her house, and she doesn't need to do anything else. I was like, no, send that back. So yeah, they're really good at getting you to buy things. Two other little devices. One is this right here. We don't know yet how it works. All we know is it's been announced. I'm on the waiting list to get one. It is for your car. So as you're driving along, and you can just do all of your normal interactions while you're driving by voice. That's going to be great. It's going to be really nice. Yeah. If it works as advertised. But probably the most devious one they've ever come up with is actually this. This one here that I'm holding, this is called the Amazon Wand, the Echo Wand. And what it is, it's got a built-in barcode scanner, and it's got a microphone built in, so you can walk around and you say, Alexa, add toilet paper to my shopping list.
You already have toilet paper on your shopping list. Would you like to add toilet paper again?
No, thank you. We always have toilet paper on the shopping list. Okay. So now it's on my shopping list. I can go to Publix, bring up the app on my phone, and I can just check off all the stuff as I'm buying it. Or I can do whatever. This, with the wand, I can just scan it, and it automatically adds it to your Amazon shopping cart, so it'll just ship right to your house. And it's free.
Of course it is. The wand is free?
The wand is free. Well, you pay $20 and you get $20 back on your first order.
How do you buy it?
You go to Amazon and you buy it for $20.
What is it for?
So yeah, it's really interesting. And I mean, it is a full-on power play to say, look, we know all we want to do is get you to buy stuff, so here you go. Just buy away and do it. It works. It's a nice little device. Not certain that I want to be using it on a regular basis. If I could hack it so it would add to my shopping cart, my shopping list instead of my shopping cart, I would be much more interested in using it, because then I could take my shopping list and buy it from anyone, anywhere. But I see their point. They want to try and keep me locked into their ecosystem there. So let's move on to because there are other people who make devices. Google has got a couple of different devices out. They've got the Google Mini. That's their entry level, just like the Dot. Performs very similar to what the Echo Dot does. We're going to talk about comparisons in just a minute. And then they've got the Max. I've never seen a Max out there in the wild. I hear that they're okay, and a couple of reviews have said they're nice speakers, but I haven't actually seen it. Here's a good comparison size-wise for the different devices. These are the four main devices. The Echo, this is actually the Echo 3. Google Home, the Google Mini, and the second generation Echo Dot. So between those four, those are the ones that are selling the most. These four devices that we've got up on the screen are the ones that have sold out. Barry mentioned earlier, unknown exactly, but at least 3 million of these things have sold just this Christmas season. That's one of the reasons why we teach this class. Because someone you know has one of these now. And you want to get the best out of it, you want to know what's going on with it. I want you to know what you're getting into as you get started with this. Because that way you know as you start it up and you don't find out.
Your dough timer is done.
Yeah. Alexa, stop. I never can finish with this slide in time. The idea being that you need to know what you're getting into. Don't find out about it, like so many other things about, oh, you've had your phone for 3 years. Oh, by the way, did you know they were tracking everywhere you walk? Make sure we know ahead of time before you get the stuff. I did promise that Apple has something. They do. They have the Apple HomePod. This is their entry level at $450.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If you're really into Apple, great, go for it. If you're just like, I've got this Apple Music stuff and I want to play it on a speaker, guess what? Amazon will let you play your Apple Music on their speakers. Apple doesn't let you play the Amazon Music on their speakers. So if you're already wedded to the whole Apple universe, then this is a decent product. But until they actually put out something either with a screen that's this expensive, it would still be overpriced, or if they put out one of those low-end, entry-level things, Apple's probably never going to be doing that. So they're always going to be number 3 at best, and most likely number 4, because now that Cortana is interacting with the other assistants, Microsoft's really stepped up a little bit that way to get things going. So all the various other cousins and people that are out there also, these Alexa-enabled devices. Sonos is a really big one. They put really high-quality speakers out, and you can just talk to it and ask, volume up, volume down, do whatever you want, play whatever channel, play your streaming music, etc., and make that all happen. Ford, all of your 2019 Fords and beyond have this built in. Into your built-in microphone with OnStar and stuff like that, it is now built into having the Amazon Voice services so that you can just use it as you're driving. So as you're getting close to home, you can just say, turn on the front lights, lower the AC. We'll talk about some other ways you can do that too, but you can set all that kind of stuff up so that you can make it happen that way. And they're always adding new things. Microwaves came out in September. Don't know why. Maybe it's really, they did it as a showcase thing, like here, this is what you can do. Because, and this is where Apple has fallen off the cart totally, and Google is still fairly far behind. Amazon now sells a little Alexa chip that you can put in any product. You can just buy them in bundles of 5,000 or 50,000, and you can add it to any device you want. So there are eyeglasses out there now. You walk around with an Alexa-enabled eyeglass, you just tap it on the side and say, Alexa, do this, and it does it. Kind of hard to beat that kind of company. So, like I said at the very beginning, this is not an advertisement for Amazon, it's just, you have to acknowledge they have taken it just like Apple did with certain products. Amazon has now taken this and just run with it and done an amazing job with things. Other people, the Invoke speaker is useless. They might have sold a couple hundred of them. Microsoft just couldn't get off the ground. Other companies like TiVo and Roku all have their own voice assistants. You can go buy a TiVo remote that you can just press the button and talk into it and say, go to the Marlins game, and it will jump there for you, or lower the volume, do the volume, etc., play this, stop, pause. But I can just tell her to do it. Alexa, skip TiVo.
I couldn't find any enabled
Yeah.
video skills that can do that.
I
Go to the
know, I
Alexa
know, I
app to
know.
manage your video skills and devices.
Because I'm not connected to my home network, I can't connect to the TiVo, and plus there's nothing playing, I hope. But as I'm cooking, and as I'm doing my stuff, I can just say,
I'm not
skip
quite sure
commercials.
how to help you with that.
Yes, I know this, don't worry. And so it's a whole comedy routine we can do it. But you can just do all these things hands-free now. So I can just be sitting there in the kitchen, have whatever show's playing, be having my hands washed. Alexa, how many sticks of butter are in a cup?
2 full sticks of butter equal 1 cup.
Alexa, how long should I cook a chicken?
It is recommended to roast stuffed chicken in the oven for 2 hours, 30 minutes to 3 hours at 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and to rest for 10 minutes until it reaches an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Place chicken breast side up on a roasting pan. Baste chicken frequently.
Thank you, Alexa.
Anytime.
And so it works really well when you're thinking, if you just need to do calculations. Alexa, what is 14 times 40?
14 multiplied by 40 equals 560.
Divided by 2? I missed it. You can continue on things in a minute. We're going to show that. So these various things that are there. Now, how do you improve them? You add all these different apps. She's already mentioned apps to us and trying to get us to do things. To give you a good example, to start 2018, Amazon had 25,000 skills available. That are now, they just broke the 50,000 mark. At that same time, Microsoft had 230. Again, somebody has a very big lead and it's hard to catch up. Then there's IFT, and this is where you get to use a lot of really great stuff. So you can add things on, like we already did the talking echo to echo, or if you've got teenagers at home and you can just announce right into their room, dinner time, turn the music down, do whatever you want to say because you can control it from another echo. So you can go back and forth with people, you can talk and do this. From a phone to an echo too. That's one of the key things with my mom. As soon as I introduced this and got that, I did that for her, she'd fall down in the house. Yeah.
And that stands for if this, then that.
Yeah, we're gonna pick that up in a minute. So if you want to make a phone call with it, you can, she can just call out and it'll just ring my phone or every echo that it'll come out to. So it's a really handy device there, as this device-to-device stuff. Now, some of it you can't do. I mentioned earlier, if I'm driving down the road and I tell it, turn the lights on, well, maybe I don't want to bother telling it, or maybe my car doesn't do that. You can use this if, as Barry said, if this, then that. It's an app you put on your phone, and you might have activated thermostat at home, smart devices. So let's say you have a Nest thermostat, or you have smart light bulbs, or whatever it is. All these various things that connect by Wi-Fi around your house, and you have an app for them, and there's another app, and another app, and another app, and another app. Well, they all work. I can dig my phone out, unlock my phone, type in the password for the device, change the device up or down, set the Nest temperature to that, or Alexa, set the downstairs temperature to 76.
Sorry, downstairs can't do this in its current mode. Please change its mode in the app or on the device.
It's because I'm not on my home network. I'm sorry. I changed that security setting so that people can't just go change my house. But you can have, if you've got your light bulbs or your Nest or things like that, you could set those up on IFT so that it automatically at 6:30 at night, my outside lights come on. And they go off automatically at 11:30. Or the 2 phone calls that I've gotten while I've been up here talking, they get added to my to-do list so that I will be able to go look at that list and say who I want to call back or not at the end of class. Another nice feature that IFT does is not with any of these things, but just to set up and activate for various services. I get an email once every Sunday that gives me a listing of all the stuff that's happened on the International Space Station. So I know all the various experiments that have happened and all these various things. So when you see the news story, they're brewing beer on the International Space Station. No, they're not. The barley died. I know. I watched that experiment. A particularly useful one I like is Ballotpedia sends me an update every single time an actual law goes into effect that gets signed by the president. None of these news stories about, oh, the Republicans want to do this, the Democrats want to do that. Who cares? It's not a law. It's what somebody wants. I get a notification when there's actually a new law, like the 12 new, I think it was 12 post offices that were named this morning. So it's a really nice feature that you can use to integrate a lot of your life, automate your life, and bring that all together. Whether you're using a smart speaker or not. If that's the only thing you take out of that class, this class today, that's great. But if you're going to be using all these various things. Now, let's talk about security, because I casually mentioned it there. You have a password on your home network. Everybody nod yes. You have a password on your home network. So one of the issues becomes you're giving every one of these devices your password to your network. So you may want to rethink that. You may want to rethink and check your router settings and set up at least 2 separate Wi-Fi networks at your house. One for your guests to use, one for you to use, and one for all of your internet devices, all your connected devices. That's why I have these 2 things up here. So Nest works really well. If you haven't used a Nest thermostat, it's one of the best smart thermostats out there. My wife freaked out about it. We had it in the house for about a week or so, and she goes up to it and she goes, "Why is this only going to set the temperature down until 2 o'clock in the morning?" Because it knows every night you've gotten up at 2 and made it warmer, so it's just going to automatically do it for you now. And then she hates it when I get these new devices. When the Echo came into the house, she's like, "Oh, this is TiVo again, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, everyone's going to have one of these." But Philips Hue, really popular brand of light bulbs, really popular company. They make a lot of really cool, smart bulbs that you can tell it turn blue, turn green. I want my reading setting to go on, or whatever. It's awesome. Except they only work on your primary Wi-Fi network. And I have a separate network just for my Internet of Things devices, so I had to return that. So pay attention to what you're doing with security. If you've got a password on your Wi-Fi network at home, great. That's all you really need to worry about. For 2 reasons. One, because all your devices are connected, they will automatically try to run updates. If you haven't already, put a calendar update when you get home for July 4th. July 4th, you're going to run all your security updates. You're going to check your router if it's got the best updated security, your modem, your light bulbs, your thermostats. I've got 45 devices. I have to have a day to do this. And July 4th, I know I'm going to be off of work. And so I can go make sure that my light bulbs have run their updates. Yeah, now we got to think about these things. That's interesting. Now, that's why I come back to security here for this, is nobody cares about you. Sorry. The reason, unless we have a spy. Anybody here's a spy? Well, it wouldn't have been a very good spy if you raised your hand anyway. So, nobody's breaking into your house. You've seen this stuff. You've seen these things on TV. Oh, they break into the house and they turn the temperature all the way up to 90 degrees. And then your Nest thermostat says, yeah, nobody's home, and it turns it right back down. Number 1. Number 2, who cares about your house? Who's going to break into your house and change the thermostats on your house? Out of the millions and billions of places they can go do this. If I'm going to go do that, I'm probably going to go to the server room at the Pentagon and make that really hot, rather than make Bob's house really hot for 5 minutes. So yes, it is a possibility. It's one of those things that, yes, you could get the plague if you hang out with prairie dogs in North Dakota for a while. It's a scary thing to think about, but it's not a real thing to think about. You have much bigger chance of getting hit by lightning 5 or 6 times in a row. Yeah, it's about that same level of that. But who knows about you? That's where it gets interesting, right? Because who knows what happens? Alexa, what's the best pizza?
I think the best is Hawaiian pizza.
Ew.
Yeah, she has that on purpose. Alexa, where is the best pizza near me?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Alexa, what are the 5 closest pizza places?
Here are a few popular ones. 1. Pasquale's Pizza Company. 2. All-Star Pizza and Italian Restaurant. 3. Your Pie. And 4. Giovanni's Pizza of Chicago.
So, they have dad joke answers for everything you possibly ask. B, I asked her what was the best pizza near me. She didn't know, because she's not going to give me an opinion. She's only going to give me facts. She knew what the 5 closest places were to me. Now, when you go to Google on your computer and you type in pizza places near me, what's the number one search? What's the number one thing that comes up?
Yelp?
No. 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 No.
Something paid.
There you go.
What?
The person who paid to be at the top.
Right, yes.
That's who gets listed first on Google and big results and et cetera and stuff like that. So, how do you know what she just told you is really the closest, or did somebody pay to be on the closest? The real answer is, Amazon says no. They're not accepting paid search results. That they go to Bing and they use the top results from Bing that are non-paid results. Google uses Google, yeah, cheap, huh? Apple uses the Bing search results also, by the way. So if you go in and you do a search and you ask for what's the 5 closest, it goes to Bing and it gets that search result and then drops it onto your phone for you so you can do it. And yes, it gives you those Yelp reviews. So when you've got the list on your phone, you can just check each of the Yelp reviews for each of those 5 places to see who you like and what you want. So you get a really good chance of going out and being able to compare notes and do these things. But what do they know about us? Who do they know about us? What are they doing? What's our privacy actually worth nowadays, right? Privacy's dead. There is no privacy anymore.
No.
Part of that is because what we think of as privacy didn't exist until the 50s and 60s. What happened was in the 20s and 30s, they started this idea of you had privacy from other people and from corporations, not just from the government, which is what the original set of privacy rules was. And now we're moving back towards that, mostly unintentionally, because is it really private, or how much privacy do you have if I know how much what you had for breakfast in the morning in London because you posted it on Twitter and I was able to respond saying, yeah, that looks really good. How much privacy do you really have nowadays when you just broadcast that out to 2 billion people? So that part of things goes on. However, you can control everything that happens on here so that you can feel like you have some privacy and you're sharing with who you want. You can set up passcodes on these so that you have to ask. If you were to just shout out, order a bicycle or order a whatever right now, she's not going to do it because you don't know my passcode. We had a party at my house a couple months ago, and when I woke up the next morning, there was like $50,000 worth of stuff in my Amazon shopping cart. None of it got purchased because I'm not crazy to give out a passcode. But you can set all that up. Or all of these things that you're asking. Alexa, how do I poison someone?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, how do I get away with murder?
I don't have a short description of how to get away with murder. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're
Alexa,
welcome.
Alexa, how do I murder someone?
I won't help you with that.
So, by the way, you'll notice as we've been doing this all, if nearby, the light ring lights up whenever you ask a question. It lights up a blue that. And as long as that's blue, she's still listening. She's able, so I'm able to carry on that conversation with her like that without having to say her name all the time. Alexa, what's my notification? Since there's a green.
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. A shipment will arrive today. To avoid spoiling any surprises, I won't share package contents until after the new year.
That's nice. Thank you. So something's going to be delivered today, at least one of my packages. All of those things that I just said, I can go to my Amazon app and I can look at them. I can go onto the website. I can see every single thing that I've said. I can delete if I want to. If I don't want it there, I can delete it. So if you're asking along these things, that's. Now you may have seen something in the news about, oh, the police got this information from Amazon. Amazon gives you the information if you have the proper subpoena and stuff like that. Famous case out in Denver, somebody was murdered in a hot tub with an Echo right next to it, and the police are like, we want to hear everything that the Echo heard, and Amazon's like, no, we're not going to just hand over records. No, but we want to hear everything it said. No, go get a subpoena. And when they got the subpoena, and they found out that, oh, hey, yeah, nobody asked Alexa, how do I murder this guy? And so she didn't help them, and she didn't do anything. And there was no recording of anything.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
You said Alexa.
I know. Every time it's AWS, I gotta really get into using. That's number one. Number two, the idea is that you could also check this yourself without having to resort to the police. You could just look at your router settings and see, here's my Echo, and here's the network traffic for that Echo. And you can see that there's nothing happening during the day. There's nothing happening at all. And then you ask that you do the wake word, all of a sudden it spikes, it gets the information, sends out, information comes back down, and then it goes back down to nothing. One other way we found out 100% how these work and how it couldn't happen is when the first Google Minis came out, and they have this nice cloth cover over them, and all of them have a microphone button on top that you can press and put it on mute so that she won't be able to hear anything no matter what. Again, she. And the Google Minis came out with this nice cloth cover, and as soon as you press that button, the cloth held the button down. And it crashed people's home networks, because your home network's not meant to send gigs of data up to a remote server every hour. So most people, that's how they found it right away. It was the first batch of like 100 of them that they sent out, and 25 of them were bad. They revamped the whole thing. But it was a really good lesson in privacy that nobody thought about. Was like, oh yeah, hey, wait, we can prove it's not working, and you really have privacy because your home network can't handle what people would want to scoop up. Any questions, ideas, things you want to know that I didn't answer yet? Yeah.
Would the doorbell like Ring integrate with these systems?
Yes, so would Ring and other doorbells work? If you have the video one, not the standalone, not the voice only, but the video one, yes, you can connect it up so that on my Echo Show at home, I can see who's at the front door and talk back and forth with them through my Ring doorbell that's out there. So I can be in the kitchen, see that, and not have to worry about when I walk out and do that. Yeah.
Do you need a smartphone to install the Echo Dot?
So, do you need a smartphone to install it? Yes, but you need the app to get it started. So you need a phone that can run the Alexa app. And once that app is running, Alexa, tell me about the Facebook portal.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Knew they would do that. We're covering that topic next. So what happens is you need to put the app on there to start it and run it.
My friend does not have a smartphone. Can I use my smartphone at his house?
You'd have to be logged into his Amazon account. And you could set it up. You have to have an Amazon account to be able to run it, or a Google account, or whichever one you're doing.
Okay.
And then it will still work. Plus, you can add people in your contact list, so he could have it running on his, get it up and running, and then it just works. But like you saw with the pizza question, it sends the stuff to the app. So if you don't have the app, some answers are like, I've sent that information to your app, or I want to add this to your shopping list. Well, the shopping list is in the app. So for those sorts of things, it really helps. I got my mom a low-end smartphone that runs like 5 or 6 apps. It's one of them and it works great for her. Yes, sir?
Compare the Apple or the Amazon Echo and Dot. What is the difference? Is one better than the other?
Okay, so the question is, inside of the Amazon line, the Dot versus the Echo and certain other things like that. The Echo is the taller version. It's got a much higher quality speaker. The Echo Plus, the gray one, not the it actually automatically integrates with your lights and stuff like that. It has a built-in hub in there for other devices that are not automatically Echo compliant to make them that way. The Dot is the low-end version that has a very tinny little speaker, as you can tell. The Echo 3, the Dot 3 though, has a much higher end speaker, so that works better. And other than that, it's price. So if you're going to be using a speaker and you only want one in the house, get an Echo Plus or so. If you're going to get, if you're not sure and you've got multiple rooms, you may want to get one Dot, try it out, move, and then go for that way. Yes, ma'am?
My daughter has the regular.
Yeah, the Pringles can.
Can you play music on it?
Yes.
I say, sing
Alexa?
Frank Sinatra.
Alexa,
Absolutely.
play some soft jazz.
Here's a playlist for soft jazz music, laid back jazz on Amazon Music.
Number one thing that these are used for right now, streaming music.
So you don't have to make a list of what you want or download or anything.
No.
Your daughter, huh?
Alexa, stop. You can do all those sorts of things.
So you
Yeah.
can set parental controls on all of these?
Yes,
There were
yeah.
kids that
So
were
all
going
of them
in
have
ordering
parental
it.
controls, all those things. One of the ones I didn't mention is they actually have an Echo Dot for kids, which is kind of a waste. Just buy a regular Dot and then pay attention to what your kids are using. You can use all sorts of different applications and stuff. I casually mentioned a couple minutes ago Facebook Portal, teasing about asking her that. The reason for that is there's a couple of new devices out there. Lenovo has a new screen one that can be used. And then there's there's also the Facebook Portal, which is the brand new video one that came out now. Those both are newish. I would be fairly comfortable saying never buy a Facebook Portal. Facebook already has enough information about you, and now you're going to give them a video camera that goes right to your room all the time. And they have, when they announced it, they said, and we're not going to let advertisers have access to your data on the portal. And less than 48 hours later, that whole section of their terms of agreement changed to say, yes, they can use it. So yeah, I'm not trusting Facebook on this one. And so it looks like a really cool device. The one cool camera tracking device looks interesting. But I can wait till Amazon develops it and copies it and uses it. Yes?
I was at a brunch with about 8 people, and they played Mad Libs,
Oh yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
Alexa, play Jeopardy.
This is Jeopardy! Thanks, Johnny, and welcome, players.
Today's first category is Day 1. On July 6, 1893, years before the Tigers wore orange, the doors opened at this South Carolina university.
What is the Gamecocks?
Sorry, the correct response was, what is Clemson?
Oh.
The next category is
Alexa, stop.
See you next time.
So you notice there that the voice has
Let's
changed.
try another. Do you
No,
want
thank you.
math games?
No,
Funny
thank you.
games or top games? Or something else?
No, thank you.
She can be annoying.
Oh, shoot. We have our moments with each other, yeah. Alexa, make me smart.
Welcome back to Make Me Smart from Marketplace. I'm Molly Wood. We all knew we couldn't escape commercials no matter where we watch. So today, the rise of the pause ad. Hulu and AT&T are both working on a new type of commercial called the pause ad. Basically, it's kind of what it sounds like, an ad that runs whenever you decide to pause something that you're watching. The idea is maybe commercials will go over better when you, the viewer, have some control over when you want to break from the story you're seeing. The pause ad aims to solve the main problem streaming services face, which is the same problem every TV network faces. Everyone hates ads, but ads pay for what everyone loves to watch. And while you're already paying a subscription fee for your streaming service, the networks say those fees just aren't enough to pay for all the new content you're actually watching. So expect to keep seeing more creative and interactive ways advertising will make it onto your favorite shows.
You can say next.
Alexa,
Here, what's
stop.
new?
So those are examples of skills that you can use. And you can activate on your home, and you can do, the Make Me Smart one works really well. I like that. Short little tidbit, 30 seconds or so, of something on a topic every day. It is a brand new one every single day. They've been doing it for not quite a year yet, so there's a lot of great stuff out there. You can, I'm going to guess I know you all have library cards. That's not an option.
Yes.
You all have your library cards.
Yes.
Again, nod yes, you all have a library card. And if you use Hulu from the library system, you can have your Echo stream that for you. You can log it into your account and just tell it to stream your Hulu stuff for you. Or if you're using Audible from Amazon, it can read your books for you.
Really?
Really?
How would you do that?
You just tell it, Alexa, read my latest book.
Getting your selection from Audible. Resuming scary stories for all ages. There's 23 minutes in the chapter and 49 minutes in the book.
She felt that way ever since her mom and dad had bought the little farm by the woods that ran along Dameron's Creek. The first raindrops would send her racing inside to hide in the corner.
Alexa, stop. So you can be reading on your Kindle, get in the car, have it play for you, stream it, knows where you left off. When you tell it to pause, get back in the car, it still streams. When you get back home, tell it to pause, pick up your Kindle again, and it's all synced to the same thing. We live in a cool world, huh? Yes?
I don't understand, that's unbelievable. What if I tell, say, Alexa or hey Google, read me the book, The High Mountain.
And if it's available on their platform, it will read it to you.
And then that's all I have to say?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, my mom goes through lots of books like this, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, full audiobooks, full all the stuff like that. Now, some of them, like, for example, on the Amazon one, you have to either subscribe to Prime, and you get a lot of books for free, or you have to have the Kindle Unlimited or whatever, and it will read to you whatever you've got. Or if it's something you've already purchased, then it'll just read it to you right then and there, yeah.
You mean if I just purchase a book?
Yeah.
From the store, and I go home and I said the big
Well,
line.
you need the digital book. You need to buy it. I mean, if you got to buy it from Amazon, you got to buy the Kindle
I have
book.
to buy it from Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where they get you. At least they're on, I mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. We know Amazon's making money because they're getting us to buy stuff. How does Google make any money by letting me turn my lights on and off? Because they make, well, so, well, but what kind of advertising?
Targeted.
So,
Online.
well, but that's what, but it's a voice.
Search and display. Oh, on the voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what? Open the garage door. Sure, but first, a message from Geico. Yeah, no, not that. So yeah, but that's the puzzle. How does Apple make any money off of this kind of thing? How does Google make money off of this thing? I get Microsoft because all they want to do is be the platform that your whole life is running on. Amazon beat them to it. Amazon doesn't care about anything as long as you buy stuff. And don't listen to any of the hype about, oh, the Echo's dead because nobody's buying anything. People are buying lots. They may not be telling her to buy it and put it in my shopping cart right now, but they're buying lots of stuff from Amazon. When the number of people who own Echoes, the amount that you spend on Amazon more than doubles. And they've only reached 15% of the country right now, maybe 25% by the end of the year. Yeah, this is going to be a really big company. So, I do want to point out one last thing to you that I've been having on the screen here as I've been talking. Blueprints. Now, this is something that Google does not have yet. Siri has a very basic version of it. All these skills we've been talking about, and you're like, yeah, but I need this. Well, guess what? Amazon let you build it yourself. So, we're going to scroll down here to the bottom, and we're going to see some basic ones here. Games, etc., trivia, you can set up all these various things. All the kind of things that you want to do. Here, let's do our world's best dad. As we load that up, you can make your own. And now, you're the best dad in the world. So all of these, you just say, dad things, and here's the list of them. Now I can change that. So you're my favorite dad right now. And when I ask, that's what will pop up and do that. So in this case, that's not really that useful. However, let's go back to my list here of at home. For example, a custom question and answer. So we're going to make our own one. So here is our, when is the SLA conference? And the answer is, it's going to be on September 19th. This was a library conference I did this same thing for. So we're going to add another one. So when I say, when do I take my insulin, Alexa will say,
I pronounced that well, but text-to-speech is always improving, and I might not have it quite right.
there we go, updated and done. And now, anytime I ask that question, she will be able to give me that answer. What time am I supposed to take this pill? What time am I supposed to do that? Or somebody comes over, where's the dog food? What time does the cat need to have its litter box changed? Where is this? Where's the dog's leash? All those things, you can just simply start typing them in, coming up with answers, and now anyone who comes to your house, because she will listen to anyone's voice, can ask and say, what is this? And it's already done. It's already uploading right now. Now that only works on my Echo, it doesn't work on everybody's, but you can make it a public one and make it so that anybody can go out there and ask. Alexa, when is the SLA conference?
Here's something I found from the Article Special Libraries Association on Wikipedia. The SLA 2019 annual conference is scheduled to be held June 13th to 18th in Cleveland, Ohio.
So it goes out and gets all the information that you need, and it dumps it right there into your thing, and you're finished and done. So you can go take blueprints. It's just blueprints.amazon.com when you're logged into your account, and you can set up any of these things, customize them for whatever you want. Same thing with reminders. All you have to do is say, I want this reminder, and it will use your voice as a reminder if you want to, or to announce things to the house. I can sit there and I can announce to the house, hey, bring me up a glass of water. She will laugh, but hey. But you can set up all those sorts of things customized under this skill here to do anything that you want. Yeah.
Can you get Ancestry on there?
Ancestry. Alexa, can you read me Ancestry.com results? I don't know.
I couldn't find Ancestry.com results.
Okay. Alexa, activate Ancestry.com.
I can't find that skill.
So they have made a
find
skill.
skills, go to the skills section of the Alexa app.
Well, no, but if it's activated, if it's a skill, like for example, Domino's, Uber, all those things that are all paid, it'll still activate for you, and then you have to go to the Alexa app, enter your account information, and then you can use it forever. I'm trying to work with the Echo team to build a library skill app that you would be able to say, put this book on hold at my favorite library, and it would automatically take that book and put it on hold at whatever library you've designated as your library, because you've given it your library card number and all the information that you need. It won't work with Broward County right now, so I haven't bothered to. We have to wait till we get our new software version that's coming in late 2019, early 2020, and then we'll be able to do all that kind of stuff here. Yeah?
If I'm downloading an audio book from the Broward County Library, will she read it for me?
If it's on Hulu, will it read you audiobooks from the library? Only on the Hulu side of things. Because Overdrive, the app on here, the Overdrive app on the Echoes now I think works, but I'm not positive. It does not work on Google yet, I know that. Again, I'm trying very hard here to make sure that all the things that I'm telling you work on all the various platforms. So we're not talking just Amazon. It just so happens that we're using Amazon a lot. A lot of that happens because it's whatever skill they've written to interact and go back and forth and do. Yes?
To get this Alexa skill blueprints, you go to
blueprints.amazon.com.
Blueprints. Thanks.
You have radio.com enabled. Do you want to open it?
No, thank you.
So do you need an account?
You just need a regular. You just need a regular Amazon account. Yep.
You don't need a special Alexa.
Don't need any special Alexa accounts or anything like that. It just works. Yeah. Anyone who's going. Yep.
I think one of the best things about buying the Dot is it's Bluetooth, so I play it through my Bose speakers.
Yep.
and I get the best sound anyway.
And that's one of the things is doing the streaming music off of these out to other devices, like you said, or just the idea of having the dot and having those in the various places. This morning I woke up, all I did was say turn on the lights, walk into the bathroom, play my morning briefing, and she starts off with what the weather is like and what's the latest news and everything. By the time I'm out of the shower and done, and I can say off, and I can have it play everywhere. I can say play everywhere, and it plays everywhere in the house. I can be walking in the living room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, upstairs. There's an echo somewhere that can hear me. I can just do these things. I don't do math anymore. I can just walk around and ask, what's this? What's that? What's that there? I admit I feel really stupid. I had it a couple months ago. I was like, what's 3 times 10? Oops. But it works. And it offload that stuff to somebody else. Let me do the thinking part. Let somebody else do the figuring out stuff. Anything else, guys? Want to make sure we cover it?
Question.
Anything?
Is there something special that you have to do to set this up?
Have Wi-Fi and plug it in.
Right.
That's it. It's really straightforward. And they remember everything, so it remembers when I was here last spring, so all I had to do is plug it in, turn it on, and I didn't even have to connect it to Wi-Fi today. You just automatically knew what the Wi-Fi passwords and everything and connected right in.
Okay, Bob.
Thank you guys all
Thank you very much.
Thank